We normally record this session and we'll post it at the end of the class. Morning, everyone. My name is Femi Ojo. Be the trainer. I would, be the one going through the training with you, and I'll also be the one sharing this information session this morning. Thanks for joining. I've been doing this for a while. I started off my career as a project coordinator, supporting the PM later transition to become a PM, a senior PM, a Scrum Master, and now an Agile coach. I have over 15, 17 years of experience doing this. And yeah, that's just a little bit about me. When you come to class, you still know a lot about me. So, right, our objective for today's session would be, we'll talk about, we'll understand. Let me go ahead and unmute everyone. If we have questions, you can raise your hand. So this is how we would run this session. You would let me go over the slide. There will be time for questions. Then we would go to the testimony time where people would come and share their story. Then you would have the opportunity to ask them questions as well. So I'll go through the slide. I'll try and be done in 40 minutes. Understanding of Scrum, then we'll go to product development, why Agile is the best approach, a day in the life of Scrum Master. You might want to know what you even do as a Scrum Master, right? And the details of the program, and also testimonies as well. So let's start with a project. When we talk about a project is a temporary endeavor with a specific goal and usually a budget. When they say temporary, anything that has a beginning and an end, anything that has you want to develop a website, you obviously have a date that you want to start, and you're looking at the dates to complete. You want to build a house, you want to paint a house. A painting could be a project. You want to, do a wedding. All these are projects. They have a beginning and an end. They have a goal. At the end of your website, you want to build, a website that would be used to sell your products, right? That would be used to sell your services, right? And you would have a budget. You would have something in mind that, hey, this is how much I want to spend. So that's a project. So this is where does Scrum comes in. Scrum, it's now a process for managing and delivering these projects, right? Scrum, it's now a process for managing and delivering this process. There used to be a project management methodology, which is a traditional project management methodology, which is called the waterfall. That was which is done by PMP. Some of the people might be, the network, someone said the network is bad. Is everyone getting the same, or let me unmute you? I want to hear from you.
It might be your network.
You're okay. I think it's that person's network. You're okay.
Yeah,
okay,
it's good
all
on
right.
my end.
All right, yeah, I'll go on mute everyone now again. So great. So so there used to be, what is called the old way of doing things. A lot of people try that. That was what people know for over years and years, until I think it was early 1990s, where some folks come together and they realize that this is not just working. There must be a better way of doing things. That was how they start Scrum, right? And it's now getting popular. It wasn't really popular then. It's now getting really popular. So a lot of the organizations see the value in using Scrum. That's why they're jumping onto it. So there is a tremendous opportunity now in that space. Every organization wants to do Scrum. I remember a student of mine got a job in where they were baking cake. I said, wow, yeah, said yes. Said it's like a small man business. We have 2 guys developing their website, updating their website, taking orders, and we have the owner of the organization being the product owner. So he said it's a small organization, but he's learning, right? It's so funny. I find it ridiculous. Of course, everyone wants to use Scrum. You can even use, this mindset in your day-to-day activities. So developing a product, some of the things you can develop is mobile application. right? For example, your bank, mobile bank application, it's a project. It has a beginning and an end, right? And it has an online store. You have a store, your business is growing, your customers are requesting, I don't want to come to your store anymore. Do you have an online? You want to go online where people can buy? That's also a project. Software enhancements, you already have, if you realize these days, sometimes you see on your phone, do you want these updates? Yes. Do you want these updates? Right. Then some people are still saying no audio. Just put it on the chat if you can hear me, please. Software enhancement. Sometimes you see it on your phones that, oh, do you want this update? Sometimes you just wake up in the morning, you see your bank application, mobile bank application, it's breaking. You see your mobile bank application. Let me check I think I'm fine here. You see your mobile application. Let me just try and switch my internet real quick. Maybe that would be better. I think I have the good one here. I think I do have the good one. I think if you can't hear me, maybe you want to look at your audio as well. So software enhancements, maybe one day you just wake up, you see your bank application, something has changed. That's an enhancement. Or you have an online business where you currently maybe do not accept credit card. Now you're having that feature, credit card, people can now pay by credit card. That's an enhancement. That's also a project. That's a small project. Scrum can be used to manage and deliver this project. Scrum is let me talk about the old way a little bit. In the old way of doing things, the mindset of the old way is they have to finish a project before they make it available to the customer. That's the mindset of the old way of doing things. I'll give this analogy or this example where people can relate to. It's about building. Let's look at the way old way would treat a building, construction, and the new way, right? The old way would treat a building in the sense of, hey, you have, for example, you have 5 high-rise building that you want to build, that you've been asked to build. The old way would do it in a way where they would draw the architectural work for the 5, right? They would sit down with the owner of the building and get everything that the owner wants to build in that 5 properties, in that 5 high-rise, right? What do you want? How do you want the 5 high-rise to look like? They sit down. That could take months to get all those details. Then they move to architectural design. They'll design all the 5 high-rise at the same time. Then they move to breaking the ground, doing the foundation work for the 5 at the same time. Then they will continue to build that 5 at the same time, right? Doing this, there are some of the downsides to this. It looks great. That's what the old way was doing, and that's what a lot of people are used to. The downside is, number one, it will take longer for the customer to get any benefits. They would have to wait for all the buildings to be completed before they can start getting revenue. And other disadvantages are if maybe in the market, maybe before we started that project, it could take 7 years, right? And during that 7 years, people no longer like open plan kitchen anymore. Things have changed. You won't have opportunity to make that change because it's already in your design. You've already started building all of them, right? Then a lot of time you get your work late. You get a project get delivered late. So these guys came together and said, this is not working. Why would I say 7? Why would I stay 7 years or 5 years to get anything, to even see something tangible, right? So the new way now decided that, hey, we will build 1 at a time. We know we want 5, fantastic. Let's start with 1. Then the customer or the owner of that property can start cashing in as early as 2 years. Another benefit is if there is a change in the market, they can quickly pivot. They can change to whatever that change is. For example, when you get to the third one and you realize that your competitors are now doing no open plan kitchen anymore, you can make that changes in the third or high-rise building, right? Or they now have verandas. They now have places where you can stand at the back of the kitchen. They can implement that in the third building. So that's just a high level of the difference between the old way and the new way. The new way has a lot of advantages over the old way. That's the new way is Scrum. So Scrum is now, they look at Scrum as rugby, or I know you guys don't call it rugby, sorry, as American football, right? That's what, because this is you. They believe is a teamwork, right? We're working as a team rather than the relay race that the old way was doing. The relay race meaning those people would do the foundation, they would hand over the baton to people who would build the, go and build the top. They would, then those ones would hand the baton to those who would paint it. But this one, we are working together as a team to build one, right? It's a lightweight. Another example could be, let me now use the software example. Another example could be a website development. You come to me and say, hey, I'll just use a name, a random name. Bossade, you come to me and say, hey, I have this business, I want to build a website, right? And we're talking about the old way of doing things. Then I said, you know, Bossade, you would not get your website until 2 years, right? Then what do you want in the website? Me and Bossade sat down. She has something in that she wants in the website. She looked at Amazon and she said, oh, I want my website to be like Amazon. Okay, we took all the requirements of everything that Amazon has. And I said, with this Amazon, it would take you 4 years. So maybe Bossade said, I don't mind. Okay, great. You won't say anything in 4 years, then we'll finish building that in 4 years. But the way the new way of doing things will treat it, that Scrum will say, okay, I know you love Amazon. Fantastic, it's a great website. What we will do is called incremental delivery. That means, what do you think that your customers would need to use your website? Those basic things. Let's talk about the basic things. They will say, okay, I know the only thing they will need is product description page, to read the products, to be able to pick that product into the shopping cart and to pay. Great. Let's do that. Your customers might not initially like it, right? That's what we want. We want them to complain. We don't want to build an Amazon-like website. Your customers might not be Amazon, and you're thinking in your head, this is what you love, right? But you're not the one to use that product. Let's give them the basic things and let them start giving us feedback. Oh, you don't have a review yet. Great. Then at that point, you're already making money. And again, you're building the right things for them. Oh, they are telling you that, hey, we don't have feedback. We love to read feedback, to read review. Great. We quickly get together, we give them that. In 1 year, you're already making money, or even 6 months, right? You're already making money. We might eventually get to the Amazon Live in 4 years, right? But look at how much revenue they would have made in that long, in that 4 years. Whereas the other old way, we just sit down. They wouldn't make anything in 4 years. Am I making sense? Am I communicating? Right. So it's a little lightweight. It's an agile process framework for iterative development. That means they build something in small pieces and continuously, right? It's a framework. They call it a framework because all the way it's too prescriptive. It's a framework. You can apply it to as you suit your organization. That's why they call it a framework. It's lightweight. It's very small. It's just building things, not comprehensive, right? It reflects, there's something called the Agile Manifesto, and we'll talk about that when you come to the main class. With respect to the Agile Manifesto, and also iterative results are delivered frequently. So after the first batch that we did 6 months, then we can decide that every 2 weeks, whatever the customer requests for, we want to give it to them every 2 weeks, right? So in Scrum, there are roles as defined by the people that started Scrum. So you have developers, you have Scrum Master, you are the Scrum Master, you have a product owner. Who is a developer? Developer are those people that are working, those skill sets that are working to build that product. If it's in a construction industry, the builders, the painters, the plumbers, they are developers. If in a software, the programmers, the testers, they are called developers. And the Scrum Master, it's you. You are the process owner. You are the one that knows the process the most. You are the one that will be guiding the team to understand the process. You are like a coach of a team and also a referee. Your own referee doesn't just issue a red card. You are the coach of that team, telling them that, hey, you are meant to be there. You're moving away from that. This is what you need to do. Right, I see you, for example, let's translate that to work. I see you struggling with this. How can I help you? Right. You don't know what they're doing. You can't, the help you want to render is speak to some of his colleagues to help him out here, because it might be struggling. It might not want to talk to anyone, probably due to the lack of their judgment, right? You want to talk to them. No, we're a team. What are you struggling with? Do you want me to speak to some of your colleagues? So after this meeting, let's everyone brainstorm and help you look at it. Right, you're the referee in the sense of if they're doing something anti-practice, excuse me, that it's against the process, you want to say, hey, no, that's not what the process says, right? And the product owner, on the other hand, and also some of the things you also do, we'll still go to a lot of things that you do. And the product owner, what's the role of a product owner? The role of a product owner is to speak to the customer. He is the face of the customer in that team. We want someone that will be connecting with the customer in that team. I use this analogy a lot. If we just look at a grilling business, say we have a grilling business. I would just say we have a grilling business. I'll mention a few names and I want people to pay attention. Adenike is someone in the grilling business that helps us go out there to take orders from customer. What meats do you want, right? And I'll ask questions now. What kind of meats do you want? What kind of chicken do you want? How do you want it? It brings it back to the team. That's Adenike. And Benson is the grill master who is grilling the meats. Benson is the grill master. Adenike give it to Benson. Benson, the grill master. Sorry, apologies, I'm just using random names. Or we grill the meats. And the last person, who is Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the person that makes sure that, hey, is supporting Benson in the sense that, it's making sure that the process is flowing. It's also making sure that whatever Benson needs some charcoal, Adenike will make it available for him. Benson need a kind of lighter, anything that Benson's need, Adenike is making sure that it's offering that. Elizabeth is making sure that it's offering that help. Any help that Adenike needs, Elizabeth is offering that help. So in the chat, quickly, who is Adenike? Yeah, I want to see more. It's fear. I want to see more. Put it in the chat quickly. Great, great. Okay, Adenike is not the developer, Debola. So who is the developer? Who is the developer? Benson is the developer. Benson is the developer because he's the grill master, he's the one doing the work. Great. And who is the Scrum Master? Who is the Scrum Master? Elizabeth is the Scrum Master. Great, great. You guys are following. So we talk about artifacts as well quickly. Artifacts, we have 3 artifacts. We have the product backlog. Product backlog simply means where all the thing, everything about the product, where they live, right? So when Adenike goes to customer to write their order down, she puts it in that product backlog. Hey, Mr. XYZ wants a grill meat. Spicy, hot, salty, it will write it and put it in that backlog. Mr. XYZ wants chicken. She will write it up and put it in that product. Let's see that product backlog as a big basket. Then because the team works in small iteration, right? We call them small increment, right? So, small sprint, we call them sprint, small cycle. They want you to produce something in 2 weeks so that we can learn fast, quickly, right? So this is from the product backlog. Whatever we decide that we're going to do in the next 2 weeks, we'll move from the product backlog to the sprint backlog, right? And whatever we produce is an increment, the meat, the grill meat, right? So someone, Tenica, yes, it is synonymous to the project management, yes, but it's a little different. All right. Then we have event meetings. The 2 weeks period that I talk about is the sprint. The sprint planning, that happens on the first day of the sprint. What are we doing in these 2 weeks? We plan that work. Then the daily scrum, every day we meet to check the progress against the plan, what we decide that we want to do. If we pick X, Y, Z in the 2 weeks, in that period of 2 weeks, we want to be checking every day if we're on track to deliver whatever we pick. Then retrospective review is a meeting where whatever we've built in that 2 weeks, we want to show it to our customer to make sure they like it. That's why Agile is fail fast. Scrum is fail fast. I'll tell you the difference about the two shortly. Right. And retrospective is a meeting where we want to sit down and see if what we did, in terms of the process, are we doing things well? Are we not doing things well? We'll hear a lot more when we come to the class. So Scrum Master, who are you? Right. Who is the Scrum Master? Does everything needed to make team productive. Your focus is the team. You focus on the team. How can I get this guy more productive? Because you're standing like an outsider, just like a coach. Because it's a lot of things that they can't see. You see it. You see how long they're waiting for something to be done. You want to talk to them. How can we improve? And the beauty of this is you don't even solution for them. You're provoking their thought to come up with a solution themselves because they don't see a lot of things because they are in the system. They are in the team. You are also in the team, but you're looking at things from outsider's perspective. Right. You act as a servant leader. Who are you as a servant leader? You're putting the needs of the team first, even ahead of your needs. You want to lead by example. Right. You also own the process. You enforce the process. This is what the process is. You want to be looking at everything to make sure they're following the process. You run all these meetings. You help them run it to be productive. Right. You make sure you're running this meeting. Right. You set them up, make sure people are attending. You make sure it's being productive and positive. You facilitate. Right. You shield the team from external interference because we've committed to something. Right. You want to shield them to make sure they get that thing done. And developers are the guys that do the work. Right. And the product owner, this guy, right, Adenike, who is the face of the customer in the team, talking to the customer, getting what the customer needs and bringing it back to the team, right? That you are a Scrum Master. Then your role, you're a servant leader. Like I said, you put in the need of the team first. You have empathy for needs, right? You have emotional intelligence because you're not just, you see someone that it's not working. You just don't want to jump at, hey, why, you know, no. You want to understand why. Why? I mean, it might be going through a lot. You want to put yourself in his shoes. You want to put, yourself in his shoes. You want to look at him and say, what's going on with you? And realize that, you know, the way you're walking this is a little bit, is there anything I can do to help? You offer help, right? Rather than just judge them. You help them facilitate meetings. You make sure that meeting is productive and positive. You encourage the team, right? You encourage them. You constantly encourage these folks. You protect them. You're like an advocate. You advocate for them. These guys need this thing to get their job done. You want to go to leadership and say, yeah, you have to get these guys this thing, right? You reflect their work. You make sure you're telling the leaders of the organization, these guys are doing great. We planned 5 this sprint, we complete that 5. We planned 5, we could only do 4, we couldn't do 1, be transparent as well because of X, Y, Z. And you're helping them remove impediments, remove blockers, anything that will be on their way, right? You help them remove it. Benson doesn't have enough charcoal. You need to quickly get it. The lighter Benson is using is just filling in. You need to quickly get Benson another one, right? You're removing anything that will stop Benson from being productive, right? This is the day in the life of a Scrum Master. What do you do on a daily basis as a Scrum Master? The focus is the team first. How can this guy get better? What am I doing to build the team? Your day varies. You facilitate, you wake up in the morning, obviously, maybe you want to check your email. And after your email, Wasil, I saw your hands up. I'm coming to you in a minute. You hold your question. You're helping them, making sure that, these meetings, in the morning, the day in the life of a Scrum Master, I got distracted a little bit there. You wake up in the morning, you get a walk, check your email. Normally daily Scrum, it's in the morning, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes a lot of time it is in the morning. You help them facilitate, right? Making sure that it's a quick, short meeting, right? Some people call it daily stand-up. It's usually 15 minutes. You want to make sure it's not going past that 15 minutes. If people have something to say, you let them hold on. After the daily Scrum, you can have that conversation. So you're helping them facilitate this meeting. If any impediment comes out of that meeting, hey, I'm struggling. One of my environments is not working. Okay, great. You don't know anything about it. You're not the one to fix it, but you want to go to the IT. You want to go to the people that will fix it. Hey, you can ask them, who do you think is going to be responsible for this? Oh, don't worry. Do other things that you can get done. I'll get that for you. You go over the IT, and you tell them, hey, one of my team members has issue with this XYZ. When do you think you can get it done? Is hindering that person from working. Okay, no problem, we can get it done. You come in, you facilitate that, you help them remove that. You touch base with the product owner, right? You're touching base with Adenika, what help do you need? Right, there's a meeting called the refinement meeting where, it's basically where we refine all those things Adenika is bringing into the team. We need to talk about it. Benson needs to know a lot more what kind of, salt, how much salt this one need, how much spice this meat needs, what kind of meat this guy needs. We've helped them facilitate that meeting as well. You have one-on-one with team members because sometimes some people are going through a lot. You want to connect with them. You want to know them as people, not just as professional. If I see my Scrum Master and is saying that the only thing I know about John is John comes in at 8, he goes at 4. I don't like that. You want to play games with them. You want to relate to them, discuss football, discuss soccer, whatever their interest is, right? Know them as people, not as professional. So you have regular one-on-ones with them to understand where the shoe pains. You report metrics. Metrics are just how the team is progressing to the leadership. Maybe you might have a meeting once a week, you're reporting that. You facilitate demo sessions if it's the last day of the sprint. Right. Demo session meaning whatever we've worked on in that period, you want to demonstrate that to not you, the team, not you, the developers. You will just bring all those people together. Here, good morning, everyone. My developers will be doing this. So I said, we did this, how much? I mean, this is how much we plan. This is how much we do. We did, and over to you. And you make sure that you're getting feedback from those people that you brought. Right. Then you facilitate retrospective where, how can we improve as a team? How can we get better? Then the difference between, I know a lot of people are seeing that you must have been seeing Agile versus Scrum, right? Great. Agile, think about, no disrespect to any religion, think about it this way. Agile think of Agile like Christianity, right? And there are a lot of denominations in Christianity. We have the Pentecostal, we have the Catholic, we have the Anglican. They all believe in Jesus Christ, right? But the way they carry out their things are different, right? That is the same way. Agile is like the big umbrella. It's a mindset. It's a philosophy that believes in incremental delivery, deliver things bit by bit. And these are now the vehicles. Scrum is the most popular. We have Kanban, which we will go through in the class if you come for the class. Lean is also one, which we will just talk a little about Lean because it's not very popular. Scrum and Kanban. Scrum is the most popular one. There is also Safe. We will do an high level of Safe also in the class, right? So that's the difference between the two. Agile is like that big umbrella. It's like a mindset. As long as these guys are not violating the values and principles of Agile, then as long as, as a Christian, you're following the 7 commandments, right? What's the difference between project managers? Taneka, please do listen here. Project managers. So what led to this is people, those guys that put together, Agile mindset, they believe that if you will give the power to the team, give the power to where the information is, these guys that are developing, stop using them as a machine because they just use them as a machine. They just give them work to do. They don't have a say. They don't matter in the game. They just use them as a machine. So these guys are now fully committed, right? They just thought if we could let these guys have that power rather than this guy, project manager, just being the driver, the decision maker, the controller, the communication hub. Let's give this power to the team, to the developers. Let's now have a guy who would just be facilitating their decision, teaching them the process, enabling them, supporting them, protecting them. It's not making so much decision. You're a leader without no power, unfortunately. So they've given the power to the team. They realize that giving that power to the team, these guys now feel they matter. They're now putting in the best. You're making sure they're empowered. If you spot any, and I practice that, some of the leaders are still making a decision, some decision for them, you need to go talk to them. You have to make them all self-organized. So you're not doing a lot other than facilitating, teaching, coaching, supporting them, rather than a project manager back in the days who is driving. If the project fails, it's on the project manager. If the project, it's on the team. It's on the team as a whole. We fail together, we win together. No individual glory. This guy takes all the glory back then, right? So people put in now a lot of their efforts to make sure things work, right? So what do you need? What prerequisite do you need as a Scrum Master? Dedication, commitment, right? And perseverance. That's what I tell people. You don't need any IT background. Honestly, you do not, because a lot of projects are, a lot of IT projects are managed by Scrum, but there are still some other projects that you don't need. I mean, that they're HR now, they're moving into Scrum as well, regulatory projects, and some other projects too, marketing projects. But even if you work in a software developer, which is likely you do, you don't need any IT. You don't have to. No experience, and they know it. That's the beauty of it. They know that, oh, these guys, just tell them, I'm not technical. Tell me in a language that I would understand. And they don't even want a Scrum Master to be technical. That's technical, right? What you need to get a Scrum job, are you dedicated? Is the willpower. Are you going to be committed? That's all you need. It's not going to be easy. 6-figure salary, trust me, it's not going to be easy. I'll never tell you it will be easy. It's not going to be, a walk in the park. Then what certifications do I need? The only thing you need, there are 2 paths. The 2 people started Scrum, Ken Schober and Jeff Sutherland. So they went their different ways. They still stood by the Scrum guide. We have the PSM1 and we have the CSM. So Jeff has the CSM, Scrum Alliance, and Ken has the PSM1, Scrum.org. If you come to my class, you'll be taking this. This is what you'll be taking, PSM1. You only need either this or this to land a job. These are the 2 industry recognized certifications. You only need this to get your first job. You don't need to do PSM. I don't even advise people to do PSM2 until they get a job. And the reason being, if you do PSM2, you have it on your resume, you don't have so much experience, that the expectation will be so high during the interview. You might not be able to be meeting that expectation. Maybe the person interviewing you doesn't even have PSM2. Will be looking forward to learn from you, and when he's asking you questions, you're not really delivering. That might work against you. Salary expectation, this was done a while back, things might have changed. You're looking at $60 an hour at an average. It could go up to 75, 80. I've seen people with $80 an hour. And if it's a full-time staff, it's starting from 110, it could go up to 140. Someone still called me yesterday to get, she got a job at 130, 35, I think. Then the career path of a Scrum Master, I'm sure some of you might be thinking, what's the career path? You could become a release train engineer, like a senior Scrum Master or a chief Scrum Master managing other projects or multiple projects. In charge of multiple Scrum Masters, you'll be leading so many people, right? If you've done this for a while. Also, you can become a management because you're already working with them. You're sitting in between the leadership and the team. You can switch up. I've seen some of my students become directors now. When did they start? Not long ago, IT managers. If you think, oh, that's where I want to be, right? You can become a product owner if you want. If you say, oh, I think I like to talk to customer. I love product. You can switch here too. And you can become a coach like myself or a mentor, coaching people, right? It's enormous, the career. And if you think, I'm kind of a technical guy, you can become a developer, right? Then let's look at Scrum Master job real quick. Let's go to LinkedIn. It's where I go the most. Let's type for Scrum Master job. Let's go to jobs. Let's type Scrum Master job in the US. Yeah, we have 155 as of today. Remote, on-site, I picked everything and I breathe. 155,000 jobs, that's a lot. People are getting jobs on a daily basis. On this week, in my team, we have 7 people actually that got jobs. And you see some of them here that would come and share their story, right? So we have 155,000 jobs as of today, right? The same thing if you go to Indeed, because of time, I won't go. If you go to Dice, these are some job sites. Dice, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, these are some job sites where you can find jobs. Because of time, I won't go there. So what do you get, right, if you come for a class? You get a training, and I'll share the program in a little while. Zero knowledge. You don't need any IT background, any knowledge about IT whatsoever, any knowledge about project management. You do not need it. Our training starts from the basis. The content is rich. We have exam questions that would allow you to pass the certification. Then we help with resume writing. You take the class for 4 weekends or 4 weeks during the week, and you go for the exam. We come back, we help with your resume, and we start prepping you for interview. Right, we start prepping you for the interview. That's a big part of the process. Right. Then what do you get? We have live recordings that other people have gone from for interviews. We want to share that with you. So when you listen to it and you think, am I ready for interview now? Then also you get interview questions from that. You can come to the interview prep class and bring your questions. And we have a lot of Scrum Masters on there, and we'll get your question answered. And we'll give you support so you land a job. Right. Then course duration, let's look at weekend classes quickly. We have classes every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1, and Sunday, 4 p.m. to 7. All time is in Central Time. The next class, and that lasts for a month. Next class is Saturday, April 2nd. Weekday classes, now we're just starting weekday classes. We have Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 p.m. to 9. Next class starts 5th of Tuesday. April 5th, Tuesday. Then 8 for 4 weeks. Interview prep class, Mondays and Thursdays for now. Things might change, but it's Mondays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. And because we're trying to rebuild the interview prep class, you still have it, but we're trying to probably change days or just make some more changes to that. Classes is 100% online and recorded. So you have the opportunity, if you miss one, go back and watch the video, and you can always come back to me to ask questions. Right, course fee, $1,500 for the whole package. That's the fee, including the training, including the prep, including resume writing. Right. Payments can be made Brazil, Cash App. This is how we can make payment. And we do have payment plan. We let you pay half before the class start. That is by noon of the Friday before the class start. That's April 1st, and 50% due Friday, April 15th. So if you want to register, this is the number to call. You can email me. You can go to our website too to register on our website. But once you've registered, let me know, please. Just send me a message that, hey, I've registered for the class. And you need to complete the enrollment form. I will post the enrollment form again onto the platform. If you have not, please do complete the enrollment form. Right. It's just a Google form. You can do it on your phone. You click on the link, and the link pops up for you. Just put your name, email address, and your phone number, and submit. You see a submit button. All right, questions. Let me open it up for questions. If you have questions, quickly raise up your hand, and I will unmute you, and I will let you unmute yourself. Quickly, questions before we go to the other session, as we have. All right, go ahead. Is it Kyla? Or Kayla? Yeah. Do you want to unmute yourself? Yeah.
Yes. So my question was just, I understand, all of the like average pay and things of that nature. So on average, how long would you say, typically do students land a job on average, fresh out of the class?
On average, I normally give you 90 days. But people are surprising me now. I normally give people 90 days to get a job, but people are surprising me now. People are getting job in less than a month. if you're serious from day one of the class, I can say you will get a job in 60 days. That's 60 days after the class. But I normally give people 90 days because some people, the way they do things, we're kind of, the pace we go is different, if you understand what I mean. Some people in 2 weeks into the class, they already have their certification passed, right? By the last weekend, they have their resume done. They're reading as we're going. Does that make sense? Then they're hitting the road immediately after the class. They're pushing out their resume. So some people will wait till the end of the class to write their exam. You see where the difference is. So on average, I give people 90 days. Does that answer your question? All righty, let's talk to Chukunzo quickly.
Yes, my question goes this way. Do you provide mentoring on the job mentoring?
We have a platform. We have a very great platform where you would we will put you on there on that platform. If you have any question, put it on there and people will address it. You can always come to me, but we do not provide every day, like, on the job, you're coming, do you understand what I mean? But put your questions there. You can call me every now and then, and you always make friends from that platform. People will jump to your questions anytime, any day. Put it there, they will rush it. If you're not getting anything, come to me. To be honest, you don't really need that much of a support other than, this is what I'm facing at work. And we also meet, the big community also meets once a month. There where people also bring their questions. I don't know if that answers your question. Then Ndidi, you can unmute yourself quickly.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So my question is this. Did you say it includes the exam fee?
No, it does not. It does not
Okay.
include the exam. The exam fee is $150. The fee does not include. The fee includes resume building, the class, and interview preparation.
All right. Thank you.
Jumi, go ahead quickly. Yeah, we can hear you. We can't hear you, sorry. Well, your mic is, you've unmuted yourself, but we cannot hear you, Jumi. Let's go to Ezine quickly. Ezine.
Good morning. My question is, can a Scrum Master certificate be used for project manager jobs?
Yes, because now a lot of organizations are transitioning, in that process of transitioning. So they are really looking for someone who has that experience, who has a project management experience, and who also has Scrum. So if you have that, that's a bonus for you if you have that experience of a project management. Yes, but a lot, even the people, the PMP, and I'm not sure if you know PMP now, they don't have a choice. They are moving to Agile themselves because they are now coming in late. They are moving to Agile. If they are now the one that talked about discipline Agile. If you know discipline Agile, they are moving into Agile. So everyone is doing it, right? I think that answers your question. Then Olaposi quickly before we go to the next.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to ask about the exam. So, like, how many questions you need to pass, and the relative question that we need to read out so that we get familiar with the question.
Great. We have 80 questions. Pass mark is 85%, and it's within an hour. It's a multiple choice, but I can tell you that the exam is not even the problem. I wouldn't worry myself about the exam. We have questions that would help you, literally, that would help you pass. We point you to the website. They have, scrum.org has an open question, almost similar questions that you see in the exam. We have about 98% pass rate or 97% pass rate. It's not really the big problem is the interview. Right.
Okay. Yeah, the second question is like, so after writing the exam and pass, is it good, like when you want to write like project management certification, is it good to have that too?
Yeah, you don't need it, to be honest. You don't need it to get a job. It's a plus. No knowledge is lost, right? But now, if you're doing the PMP, a lot of their question now is Scrum. It's Agile. A lot of that, they've changed their syllabus because that's where everyone is going. So I don't see you a reason why you would go again and spend a lot of time writing PMP to get it. You don't need it.
Okay. No, I'm just asking if it's going to boost like having a job or
not really, to be honest. It would if and the only reason why it would is maybe you have an organization that's just transitioning, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes, but it might also go against you if you have an organization that is fully agile. They might be thinking, this guy will come and start bringing his own project management mindset and want to set them back, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's both ways.
Thank you.
All right, Eric, quickly.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So my question I came a little bit late. I just want to find out how can we get the recording and also the presentation.
I'll post the record. Are you in the group?
Yes.
I'll post the recording to the group. So everyone will get the recording after today's class. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And my second worry is I am in Canada. I don't know. You're 100 and 1,500. Is it in US dollars or I don't know?
Yeah, you have to convert that to Canadian dollars. I don't know what the conversion rate is, but I think it comes around 1,900. We have a lot of presence in Canada. A lot. We might have one or two people also in Canada that got a job that want to come and share their story. Maybe you might ask them questions too. We have
I do.
Yeah. So
yeah, I have a couple of them, and also I was looking at the job market Canada because I know what the share is per US.
Yeah.
So do you think it's something that is growing?
It is growing in Canada? It is growing. I can tell you that for sure because I've seen people in Canada get job like this. It is growing in Canada, and they get interviews like this. So there's a lot of opportunities in Canada. Yes, I can tell you that. Okay. All right. Thanks, Eric. Angelise, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. You want to quickly ask your question?
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yeah. My question is, I want to ask. I know you said you have the recording. Can we have like a book that we can be studying with?
I would provide you with enough books. Don't worry.
All right. Okay, yes. Sir. Thank you, sir.
You see books and you say, hey, this is too much.
All right. I don't mind. Thank you,
sir. Okay. Deborah, quickly.
All right. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I have just two questions. And the first one is to confirm if you help with building a good LinkedIn profile.
We can help with that on a special request. Yes. Don't worry. It's not going to cost you additional money. But we can help with that.
All right. Thank you.
Help with that. Yeah.
Right. So, and the second one is, I would just like to confirm if the group you mentioned that we can post our question is different from the one we are in at the moment.
It's different. We have a lot of groups. Yeah, from the one you're in, these are for the people start joining the class. Then we move you to another one. We might even create another one for the class. We move you to another one when you're preparing for interview. So that one you're strictly talking about interview questions, right? We move you to, when you get a job, we move you to another one.
Right.
Now our platform is exploding. WhatsApp cannot even contain us anymore. We have over 257 now students that have got jobs. So people will jump to your questions like, I've not seen that energy in that group before. People will jump at your question. Sometimes I see the way people take on another person's problem, and I just sometimes I feel like shedding tears. Some people would even, get to a point where they meet. We now have meetups in different states. They go there, they meet themselves. They'll just be sending me pictures, posting pictures, and sometimes they help them go to their house and help each other. I'm not saying that's, it's just sometimes what some people offer and do. I'm not mandating anybody to let anybody come into their house. Right. So yeah, you get a lot of help, I can tell you that.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem. Teneka, quickly.
mute. Yes, what have your participants or students have reported back was like the hardest part of the interview that makes it take so long?
Maybe you should hold that question and let our interviewers talk. Let the people who have gotten job say to that. Yeah, just hold it. Yeah. Wale, quickly. Wale, you want to unmute yourself? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. So I have a part A to my question. I'm kind of new to this IT world, and I heard somebody asking a question earlier, but I didn't really get like a confirmative answer from the other audio that I'm on. And it's just to know that for a new guy who's like clearly know anything about IT, how is this class going to help me be able to secure a job after the class, like due to the fact that I have no experience behind this, because I come from a different background for working, and this is completely different from what I'm used to. So I just want to know how, would this class be able to prepare me for this new world I'm about to embark in?
It would help you 100%. I would also let people that have come through because it's my class. If I say anything, I would say, because it's my class. I would let people that have been to this class share their story. It would help you. You don't need any experience whatsoever. Most of our students are either CNA workers, DoorDashers, Uber drivers, and they're now earning $75, $60, $65 an hour from just coming to the class. Some of them, there's a guy from Canada. He called me a while back, just like you did. I was having that conversation. The only thing he was telling me was, I don't have any IT background. You're just saying this Scrum. I'm an Uber driver. I don't even know anything. And I said, you communicate really well. That's all you need. You communicate really well. That's all you need. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Are you willing? That was what I told her. Now he has 2 jobs in Canada. That was what I told him. Are you willing? Are you ready to do this? And he said, I'm tired of driving Uber. I will give it all it takes. I said, that's all I need. Get it done. He came for the class in, I'm not sure, I think it's September. He got his first offer in December. I think maybe September or October. The class ended end of October, actually. It started end of September, end of October. I think something like, I can't really remember. He got a job and he got the same, he brought his friend as well. No, his friend brought him. They got the job about the same time, the same week. All right, and I'm sure his friend is also here. He knows who I'm talking about. He also got his job too. He brought someone else, and he also got, and the guy is here. Ukeria, I don't know, I didn't pronounce your name well, sorry.
Thank you.
Quickly, before we get to Ukeria, okay, let's talk to Wale Arogundade. Oh, Ukeria, yeah, Ukeria first.
Hi.
Yeah,
hello, hi. Good afternoon from my side. So yeah, I have a few questions, not so much anyway. So I'm in the UK, and obviously the time differences. I don't know. Yeah.
We can't, unfortunately for now, change the time. We do have students in UK as well. At least we have 3 that are working. I created a group for them. We have another 3 or 4 that are looking for jobs. So we kind of helping them as well. You just have to work with the time. Our time here, unfortunately. The Sunday class is going to be late for you. Then the interview prep, and these guys are always joining. We have one that is going to be interviewing tomorrow. One was meant to interview on Friday, because we do also create small groups where you can also get help from when you're interviewing and you're struggling. So we have these small groups. I already have one for Canada now. I'll be meeting them this evening, right? And I'll give you a mentor who will be guiding you through that process. So that's another thing we do, but not until you start interviewing. Right, we'll give you a challenge of 45 days. Hey, 45 days, go get a job. Right, then we'll be giving you mock interviews. All those our mentors will be interviewing you, and they'll be giving you feedback.
Okay. I also wanted to ask: do you need to write the exam before searching for jobs?
Yes, you have
And
to.
how long do you have to do the exam after the training course?
You don't need, I want people to even do it while we're training. It's not difficult. Honestly, I give people maximum of 2 weeks after the exam. If you don't do it 2 weeks, you're not serious. People are writing the exam 2 weeks into the class. By the second week, I allow people, I'll give you practice questions that will help you. I'll point you onto the website that you can practice from. Right. Then what else do you need? It's not that difficult, honestly speaking with you.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So Wale, quickly. So Wale. All right. Asata. Asata.
Yes, Asada, thank you.
Asada.
I had two questions. One, when you start the class, is there an option to alternate between the weekend or the weekday versus the weekend course, or do you have to stay within whichever one you begin?
Yeah, ideally, I want you to stay with which one, but if you can't, if you're missing one, you can join the other. Right,
Okay.
just let me know in advance, then I'll be telling you this is where we are. So Tuesday, the one on Saturday would be the same one on Tuesday. The one on Sunday will be the same one on Friday. Make sense?
Yes.
So if you miss one on Sunday, you can join the Friday for that week.
Okay.
Yeah. So the weekend one is ahead now. It's starting April 2nd, right? The weekday is starting. So whatever we do on April 2nd, we do the same on Tuesday, April 5th. Like that. Yeah.
Okay, and then in terms of like once you're hired and continuing your education towards gaining those other certifications, are people typically funding their own, or is once you get within a company, do they begin to fund you continuing that education and getting those additional certifications? And is it typically required, or do people kind of just get the one certification? And like, what does the career path look like in terms of the continuing of education and these certifications?
Yeah, you don't want to sit down in any, just be stagnant in anywhere you go, in any, opportunity you find yourself. It depends on the organization. My organization fund me whatever I want to do. Anything, they pay for it. Some do not. I don't have control over that. Some do not pay for it, depending on the organization. But how much are they? You're on 135. You're going on with 8,000 every month. I mean, paying 1,000 of, you're not going to be doing this certification every month. Some of them are just 250, 300. Some of them are 1,000. Does that make sense? So you're not going to be doing it every month. Setting aside 1,000 or 2,000 for 3 months or for every other 6 months, it shouldn't be a big deal, right? I mean, you're going on with a lot of money here.
Right.
Yeah. Some people are walking away with, good money that they did not expect that they would be. It's like, to me, this opportunity is life-changing. Right. So it depends on the organization. Back to your question, some do pay, some do pay, not pay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Patty, then Ham, then we'll move to the next.
Quick question. You're doing a great job. I can see that this is a big team. I can see 84 people on here listening. So question I want to ask is, when as Scrum Masters, when you get a job, is it before you get the job, do you have any experience, or when you're packaging the resume, it has to have experience as if you've done the job before?
Yeah, we have to make that, for, 1 or 2 jobs that you have done, we kind of have the way we make the resume give you that experience.
Okay.
Yeah, then we'll now start coaching you so that you'll be able to back up that experience.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Ham, and then we'll stop there. Then Henry, now then we'll go to our next session quickly. We have an hour to go.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Yes, my question, do we have to go to testing site or the test? How do we conduct the test?
Oh, I'll give you the website to go. You go to scrum.org, you get a test done, that's it.
Okay.
I'll share that website with you. All right. And Enrima, thanks. Enrima, quickly. Then we have a lot of people.
I just have one simple question. It backs up to what the woman said. So are there any jobs where it doesn't require years of experience? Like, are there any entry-level jobs? And if so, what is the pay range for that?
It's very rare. It's very rare. There are some that have two years, which is not too bad. To be honest with you, Erima, that's you don't let me let some people comment to that. They are online now. Let me let them comment to that. Okay. I know that we have a lot of people that was like you. I know what you're thinking that you know, I mean, how am I gonna survive when I get there? All right. So I'll let some people take it. It's not that difficult, Erima, trust me. A lot of things that you're doing now, you might be doing some of the roles of Scrum Master. Okay. All right. And our class will train you on this thing. All right, let's go to quickly. Let's go to Violet quickly. Violet, these are students that have been to the class, you know, they've gotten job. I'd just like them to share their story so that others can, you know, learn from it. All right, you can ask them questions. Violet, quickly, you want to go? I know I can see your hand. Any to let Violet go first, then okay, let's any go. Any, let me unmute everyone so that we can. Any, you want to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, go on, Any. Violet, after Any, you go. You're kind of late. Go on, Any.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Any. You know, I hope everybody's good wherever you guys are. So just to tell you guys a little bit about my story, I took the November class. Yes, it was at the end of October, beginning of November. I took that class. It ended like in the beginning of December. You know, throughout the class, I got my certification week 3. It was very simple. Honestly, I really just hesitated because I didn't want to spend that money and, you know, mess up on it. But, you know, after you take the resources that Mr. Femi gives you, the practice questions that he gives you, also on the website, they also have practice questions on the website as well. After you combine those two and you really study it, you know, you do the questions over and over and over again, just like any test. You know, a lot of us have been to college, you know, where we just had to study practice questions or we just had to do something like that. And, you know, you get to the test and it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So don't even worry about the test because it's very simple. So I got that certification and that was the week before the last week. I did the last 2 classes that last week. And then after that, I just took a little time to study a little bit more, to get my stories together. And sorry if I sound like I have a list, I have my retainer in, but I took a couple, you know, weeks to get my stuff together. Honestly, I was also hesitating then. I was procrastinating a little bit because, you know, I didn't want to start interviewing and not know what I was talking about, right? So I really just took time to, you know, go over all the resources that, you know, Mr. Femi had, the classes that he put us through, because he records everything and he sends it to everybody. So I took time to look at that. Also, I looked at, you know, some of the recordings that he had before my time, right? Because he has recordings from classes before you even joined, right? You'll probably see some you probably hear my voice in some of the recordings you'll listen to, asking questions in the class, right? So I looked at those recordings. You know, I understood other people's experience and I made it my own. And, you know, throughout the whole time, Mr. Femi was very helpful. You know, even sometimes I felt like I was annoying him. You know, I was calling him. I'm sure I was calling him at work, you know, and calling him at all hours, you know, texting him at all hours of the day, you know, just asking him questions. If I had an interview, they gave me the questions that they're going to ask me. You know, I asked Mr. Femi, oh, how do you think I should answer this? How do you think I should do this? I have recordings of, you know, my conversations with him, to him telling me, okay, this is how you go about this. This is how you go about that, you know? So, excuse excuse me, throughout this whole process, he's definitely been very helpful. You know, just to help me get a job. And, you know, just so you guys know, I did go to college, you know, I have a degree, but Scrum really doesn't have anything to do with what I got my degree in. You know, so it's completely left field for me. I learned about this class because of my friend, you know, my good friend, he lives in Minnesota. You know, I was talking to him one day, he brought it up to me, and, you know, it intrigued me because my sisters are in IT. So I decided, okay, I'll take the class, I'll see what's up. And, you know, I was listening to someone just like how I'm speaking right now. I was listening to people tell their story, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like how you really went from doing that to now you're doing this. And it's just crazy for me to be able to, you know, be the one, you know, now giving my story as well. So just to be honest with you guys, you know, this class and, you know, the experience and getting a job, everything is simple, but it's not easy, right? So what does that mean? That means that, you know, you're not just gonna come to class, watch a few videos, you know, do an interview and just get a job just like that. You're really just gonna have to apply yourself, right? You're gonna have to study. Mr. Femi has all the resources that you need, but you have to be prepared so that when opportunity comes, you're already prepared to take it. Because I'll be honest, you know, I was applying to jobs. You know, I wasn't really getting nothing. I was kind of starting to get discouraged. But you know, when you put in your application out there, when you put in your resume out there, you know, sometimes these recruiters call you. So, you know, in the same week, I had 3 different recruiters call me. This was a couple weeks ago, probably a month ago now. I had 3 different recruiters call me after not getting any interviews, not getting any calls backs. My you know, my application is getting denied. I had 3 recruiters call me in 1 week, literally within 2 days. And I had interviews set up for all of them, you know, by the end of the week. And out of those 3, I got 2 offers. Yeah, out of those 3, I got 2 offers. You know, I took one of them. The one that I took was fully remote. You know, I'd rather do that than do hybrid. The other one was hybrid. So the one I took was fully remote. I started that this last Monday. And you know, this week is going to be my next week coming up right now. And you know, for me to understand everything that's going on right now, like I'm gonna be honest with you guys too. I'm nervous right now too. You feel me? Just starting this class, I'm starting this job. I'm definitely nervous, but I do know that, you know, Mr. Femi has prepared us, you know, to be great. And even, you know, when you do have questions or you have, you know, any concerns, the resources are there, the community is there. You'll be able to ask other Scrum Masters as well. So you know, it's definitely going to be nerve wracking, especially for people that have never done this before. I understand. But, you know, I feel like if you apply yourself, you'll be able to get a job, right? I'm 23. A lot of you guys are way older than me. And I know that, you know, because of what Mr. Femi is going to give you, they'll even want to look at you guys even more because you have more age on you. So now it's like, okay, you can say that you had, you know, 6, 7, 8 years of experience. And, you know, and if you do the work to, you know, apply yourself, it will seem like you really have that experience. And when you get the job, you'll be fine. So that's really, you know, what I have to say about that.
Right. Thanks a lot, Annie. Don't go yet. People might have questions for you, but before then, we'll let Violet go quickly. I know she has an appointment. So if you can go quickly, Violet, don't go. I still want you to share your pump and jack story that you did during the interview. So Violet, you can go quickly now.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Femi. God bless you so much. I don't know where to start. Good morning, everybody. I'm excited.
Before Violet was, I'm not sure if you were doubting or you were kind of scared that I'm coming from health background. It's not possible. How is this possible? Go on.
Thank you, Mr. Femi. Even as I talk now, seriously, I am still like, really, is this for real? I don't know how to start. Good morning, everybody. And honestly, I'm glad that you still have a lot of people in your class, Mr. Femi. And trust me, I'm going to get more for you. There is nothing absolutely beautiful like having to do a training and just getting a job almost immediately. I know some people might think it's magic. I still feel it's magic, but I want to call it a miracle. I'm glad to be here this morning. I'm from an accounting and healthcare background, you know, master's in accounting, healthcare, came here, did healthcare, you know, what it entails having to go through a full degree. I actually graduated in April 2021, and I still didn't have a job, even with a first class. It was so demoralizing. My experience is still overwhelming. And honestly, I would say it's still what I cannot explain. I just attribute it all to God and hard work. I joined the class actually January 2022. Before I joined the class in December, I spoke with Mr. Femi. And I told him, Mr. Femi, see, I don't know what is going on. I don't believe, he talked to me. He told me, you just have to read. I said, if it's reading, I read till 2, 3 a.m. I keep reading and reading. So when I started the class, precisely, I knew that it was just like, I don't know what was going to happen. But before the end of the class, February 12th, I remember I took the exam. Surprisingly, I passed. I wouldn't really say surprisingly, but I felt that I knew so much and I was so confident. It was just once because I did a lot of reading. I watched a lot of videos Mr. Femi was sending. I had to buy an earpiece for the first time in my life. I don't use one, but I had to buy it. When I'm driving, I'm listening to I'm listening to the resources he's sending and all. I'm on my WhatsApp 247. When I'm at work, I'm having it on my ear. The other earpiece is down so I can attend to the patient. But at the same time, I was still listening. Everything I was doing, I was just listening to all the resources he sent. And then when I had time, I would sit down and then watch the videos. When I took the exam and passed, I was excited. We rounded up on the 16th. I said, wow, that's it all. And then I was moved into interview prep class. Well, I was watching what he was sending, listening to the sounds and all that, watching the videos rather. Then I started applying after he had updated my resume. And trust me, Mr. Femi does a good job when it comes to updating of resume. The things I didn't even know was all in there, but I had to go Google them and make sure it aligned with what maybe I might be asked. So I had to apply. I started with Career Builders. There, I just started sending out my resume, went on LinkedIn, went on Indeed, went on Dice. I was just moving it out. It's not that I was confident, trust me. It was not confidence at all. Sending it all out, I was like, okay, let me just see who wants to try me. That was the way I put it. Then I'd applied up to 85 jobs on one. Indeed was about 105. Then I know Dice, I got up to like 200 because I just checked it. I was like, wow, did I really go this far? I just kept on applying. Anything with Scrum Master, I was applying, really. Then a recruiter contacted me. I just want to let you know that sometimes we might think that these Indians might not be the right ones, but when God wants to assign one to you, really, it might be the one that will just stick with you. He was on my neck, like, send me your info. I already had a lot of people calling me. So I wasn't ready, but I said, okay, let me take a chance. Then I interviewed on the 4th of March. Remember, I just finished in February. Then interviewed on the 4th of March. On the 5th, the recruiter called me. That interview was like a joke because my phone came into the interview, my alarm rang inside it, my work alarm rang inside it. And I was like, the video wasn't on. The people were not there. They were 3 senior executives because they introduced themselves of the company. And when they talked with me, I just kept talking and explaining everything. I was like, okay. When I was done, I sent it to Mr. Femi. But I was like, oh, this one is just trial and error. Let's see, the next one might be hotter than this. Believe you me, on the 5th, the next day, which was a Saturday, the recruiter called me on a Saturday and was telling me that, how did you perform? I said, well, how come you're calling me today? No problem, but it's okay. I'm sure it must be just all right. He said, on a scale of 1 to 10. I told him, well, I want to take myself for 7 or 8 because I know I really talk with a lot of confidence. He said, okay. On Monday, he called again. Wow, they said you did very well. I said, really? Okay. I just left it like that. Before you know it, the company called me and they said they are going to send me my offer letter in 2 weeks. I said, really? I wasn't so sure it was real. It didn't even take 2 weeks. 3 days, I got the offer letter. The next thing I saw onboarding. As of yesterday night, I finished filling up all my bank details and everything for the company. Honestly, like I said, it's a joke, but I know that God uses someone, and I know that Mr. Femi has helped a lot of people. And I'm not here to talk about Mr. Femi really bragging or saying he's the one. But of course, we all know that sometimes when we also put in our own effort, it works. And he also pushes us, because I still remember his words saying, you have to read, you have to keep reading. And that's exactly what I've been doing. please practice, questions, watch videos, keep listening to all those. They are really, really, it makes you go a long way. I sleep late, I watch those videos. Above all, I had so much confidence. Just have that confidence in knowing that really that interview, whatever interview you do, you might just make it. Because I really did not. I knew I didn't answer the questions properly, like to the best of my ability, because I wasn't prepared. But my confidence took me there. I told the company about themselves. I told them I've known them. I've read about them. I was even congratulating them for being the highest global IT company. It was all a joke, really. But I thank God, and that's where I'm going to go. I wish you all the best, though.
All right, thanks. If you have questions for Violet, because she'll be bailing out soon, you want to ask her quickly, or and Henny too? Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, if you have questions, quickly, if anyone wants to say anything, otherwise we'll go to the next person. Oh, Paddy.
What's the salary like? Sorry.
Okay.
What you guys got?
I can only
Do you
tell
mind
you.
sharing?
Yeah, it's a 6 digit. That's all I can tell you. When you say
What
6
is
digit,
what are you talking about? 6
Over
digits?
over 100,000 per annum.
Over 100,000. That's what they call a 6 digit.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Every Scrum job is over
Every
100,000. Yeah, you won't see less. Yeah.
Even at the entry level?
It's not, we won't say it's the entry level. You can't really get a lot of Scrum entry level. You have to have some.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Femi. The thing is that when I applied, really, I applied for a regular Scrum job. But probably, with your resume, when they go through it and see that you have a lot of years of experience, I was eventually given a senior Scrum consultant for the organization. So you see that it's much more than what I can explain right now. But I don't know about entry level. Don't limit yourself. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Violet.
Mr. Femi. God bless
okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Barnabas, quickly, just 1 minute, Barnabas, so that I can, because I know you said you're going out. So quickly, if you want to
Mr.
share.
Femi, you don't need me anymore, right?
Yeah, you want to jump? Yeah, you can jump off, Annie. Yeah, thanks, Annie. Thanks also. Barnabas, quickly, in 1 minute.
Thank you. Friends and everyone on call, I want to say you're welcome to this call. My name is Barnabas. Last year I attended this program. Like, I'm surprised these days, people about 300, 400 people on board at the same time. Then we're not up to that. Maybe 50 or 60 thereabouts. After that very program, I keep applying. At a point, these guys keep telling me that you don't have green card and all of that. That will, in fact, I was discouraged. Anyway, this year again, I called Mr. Femi. I said, hey, I need to start looking into this matter again. He said, no, I should keep on applying. I started applying again. And I adjusted my resume, quite a number of things I did. But to my amazement, 2 days ago, a recruiter called me and began to ask me a question. The lady did not even, he didn't even send me the job description. She began to ask me a lot of questions. I keep answering, both Scrum based, both PO based. After answering, she said, wow, that she's going to introduce me to her boss. That she did. And fortunately for me, the boss equally started asking me more questions, more detailed questions, as if they're the owner of the company. At the end of the day, the lady said no, that she's fine with me, that I should note that she's going to introduce me to the company right away. Either tomorrow or next, they will interview me if I'm ready. And if I'm successful, they may likely employ me. That's okay. But the position is going to be on PO. And actually, I was not ready for PO job. What I've been looking for and trusting God for is a Scrum-based work. So that day, which was 2 days ago, on Friday precisely, the man, they called me and we started talking on Zoom. One of the things the man asked me is that he have checked my resume and he liked my resume, but I don't have the prior knowledge of PO. That, okay, what can I say about the PO position? He didn't even introduce himself. Well, I begin to comment, I begin to talk about it, both product management and all of that. Talk about quite a number of things I said. He now move on to the next question. Keep going about 6 or 7 questions demand through on me. He said well that he is satisfied. He called the lady immediately that he's employing this person. I said, wow. I was surprised. So there are a few tips I need to give here. In fact, yesterday they sent me the boarding document, but I started filling them. And I remember I called Mr. Femi, I was telling Mr. Femi that actually I'm not doing the onboarding. The few things I need to say when it comes to the experience so far. One is that you got to know your story. Know your story. You don't. Nobody should attend an interview without, even though we have not worked before, without having a solid story of where you have worked before and what you are doing. If you know the story very well and wrap your mind around it, that will, even if they call you interview today, you should be able to go there and deliver. That's one. Number two, what we are, Mr. Femi is teaching us is vast. Quite a number of issues, but this is not calculus, it's doable. Another I need to say is, whatever we are taught, in many situations, that is not what these guys normally ask. It has to align with our resume. If you know your resume very well and understand the job description, you will surely scale through. So this is a few things I need to say. And confidence is a key, just like the other lady said. You got to be very confident in addressing them and answering their questions. They're human beings. Sometimes they don't even understand the agile stuff properly, but you coming in, no more.
Yeah.
So this is what I have to say.
Yeah. Okay, so, thanks. Because of time, let's move to the next person. Thank you so much. Yes. Toby Loba, quickly. Okay. Are you on, Toby? Thanks a lot, Barnabas. I will talk to you later. Okay. And Toby Loba, are you on? Quickly, Toby is also one of our students. If you're not here, we go to us. Are you here, Toby? We can go to Nonso. I don't know if Nonso is here. Nonso, if you're not here, Awa, are you here? Okay, Awa is another January student, I think. You guys are not here. Okay, who else is here that wants to share their story?
Yeah, Mr. Femi, Larry's here.
Larry, please go on.
From Toronto, Canada, yeah?
Canada, yeah. Okay. Go ahead and share your story, Larry. I think I met you. You didn't do the class with us, but you just came for a prep, right?
Absolutely. So, usually I would say that that will make me deliver my little story in an orthodox way, conventional from what we have here. I think you guys here in this class probably are even luckier than a few guys like me. I want to tell you for free here that this platform is a very great platform. The kind of resources you will get from this platform, I want to believe that you may not be able to get it anywhere else, even online. I go online to do a lot of research. A lot of people do as well. But you see that feel, that touch, again, the localness, right? Again, mingling with your peers and other people from different backgrounds, it helps you to understand a lot better. I just want to appreciate and thank God for giving me the opportunity to meet Mr. Femi through a good friend. He's probably online now. His name is ID in Canada. He's also in Canada. We from Canada, we're just only lucky to stumble on Mr. Femi actually. But now I can tell you the community here in Canada from here is probably already in the numbers of between 50 and 100 as well that has been blessed from this platform. Let me say my story real quick. So I didn't take this class, which you have the opportunity to take, but what happened, I had taken classes, back in late 2021. So, but again, I just took the classes. I didn't even feel that the job that I was taking the classes for was going to be for a Scrum Master job. It was called an Agile Immersion Program. I used tools, Jira, Confluence, and all that stuff. I learned a lot. And let me even tell you, before then, I already had some certifications. I had the PMP, I had the CBAP, right? So I had a good understanding in terms of theory, right? But that practical, knowledge that can get you in front and start taking interviews, I was lacking it. And that was what this platform provided for me. So effectively, I started attending the sessions effectively from like February. And even in February, I wasn't ready yet. So just like a lot of people here just mentioned, it was just 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago that I started interviewing, that I gathered my confidence and I started interviewing. So like someone said, it has to do a lot of your ability to communicate, right? An ability to know your story and know your stuff, right? In this interviews, for every question you are asked, have a story for it. So you need to understand the theory and you need to have a relative story that you're going to add to that. And that's what makes them see you as someone that is actually doing the job. So you have to speak like you're actually doing the job for it to be believable. And that's pretty easy, to be honest. If you get on the sessions that Mr. Femi will provide for you immediately after this class, you will realize how easy that is and you will just key into it. To cut my long story short, right now, in just a couple of 3 weeks ago of active interviewing, I already got 2 offers, right? One is a contract job, one is a full-time job. And to be honest, I'm probably even expecting more offers next week and the week coming. And I still have other interviews lined up. I'm probably going to stop taking interviews just to tell you how powerful, this platform is. You cannot go wrong with this platform, guys, to be honest. Just stick to your guns. The materials are enormous. I heard somebody said, oh, would there be materials? You get tired of materials. In fact, you're going to hate materials. Because when you see me, be like, oh my God, this man has come again. He's just dropping it. But then take your time. If it means that you have to do it at night, or just take few hours every day. Few hours every day. Someone said that when you do your 9 to 5 job, that's when you're working for your employer. Between 6 and 12, that is when you're improving yourself and getting ready for the next big thing. So guys, even if you do 9 to 5, do that for your current employer or whoever you're with, but build yourself between 6 and 12 to get yourself to the next level. Okay. Someone also mentioned IT. I don't know anything in IT. I'm also from a finance background and all that, but I'm very sure you can transit into this without much hassles. This platform is fantastic. This platform is blessed. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi.
All right. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Larry. All right. Before I go to you, let's hear from Mary. Mary, can you make it 1 minute quickly? And we take questions. And Opemi too. Don't go Opemi. I see your hand before. Mary, you want to go quickly? 1 minute.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Femi. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to be very brief. You've heard a lot of testimonies. I just want to say I am one of the people that also, it was like too good to be true. And I thought maybe the class would be very complex. I thought I wouldn't be able to fit in. But, I started with the classes. And I'll be very honest, during the classes, there were times that I'll slip off when Mr. Femi is talking. And I took the class in November. And I've tried to, catch up. But then what struck me was that the people in my class started getting jobs in January. And at that time, I've not even started doing anything. So I said, okay, what am I going to do to help me? Mr. Femi said a lot of things, but I needed to have a feel of what's going on, So even though Mr. Femi usually do organize all these classes where you meet other Scrum Masters, I wanted to have a one-on-one with them. So I reached out to a Scrum Master who was already practicing, and I told him that I needed his help to coach me better, to explain these things in layman's language. And that was what helped me. So he broke down a lot of all these things, and I did understand. And I was like, okay, we should be able to do it. And then like people have said, confidence is key. So you have to build your confidence. Even if you are saying rubbish, say it with so much confidence. Be able to lead the conversation. One of the jobs that I got was because I started the conversation. That awkward timing when you get on an interview and people are just silent, waiting for someone to join in. I just said to open the floor and ask them, how is your day going? Where are you based? Oh, the weather over there. I just led the conversation, even with the fact that it was my first interview. The rest of the things I said about Agile was not correct. But because of that confidence and the fact that I could relate with people, they gave me the job. My point is, you can do it if you believe in yourself. If you need more explanation, reach out to, it's a large community. We are over 250 Scrum Masters with Mr. Femi. So you can reach out to any of us and, listen to our stories, listen to our experience, and then personalize it. Have your story and build this confidence. Bearing in mind that you are not, when they give you this job, you are not their, how will I put it? You're not like reporting to them. You are all on the same managerial level. So they are relating with you like colleagues. So have the confidence, build it in. You might feel like you know where you're coming from. But keep that aside and build that confidence. Work on your story, improve, use the terminologies during your interview, sprint, iteration, cadence. Say these things. It will make you look like as if, oh yes, you know the job. And then, like I said, the sky is your beginning.
All
Thank you.
right, thanks. Before I go to Pelumi, Teneka, you want to ask your question?
Yes, I wanted to ask the guy who said he had just started interviewing and he got 2 offers. I wanted to ask him, like, what was in the interview process that made him get the job compared to the ones he didn't get the offer? Like, what clicked with him and then he got the offer?
Oh, is that the guy from Canada? Is that Larry?
For Larry,
Yeah,
right?
he was just talking. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
Larry.
the 2 offers.
Yeah. Larry, you wanna?
Okay, yeah. So I'll take that real quick. So you will always find interviews that some will go your way, some might not come your way. It's not because you didn't do well, but it's because you're competing with many forces. You're not just competing with candidates, you're competing with other forces, right? For example, if it was just one person they needed, right? There's so many reasons why they will probably want to go with someone or over another person. Different reasons, you also know. So what you need to do is key into the position, which is keep applying with a lot of confidence. You know your stuff, you know what you want. You could, even if you feel I did very well in a particular interview, right? Just be hopeful in God, trusting God, taking the next one and the next one and the next one, right? Then yours is going to come. I had a couple of interviews myself. Not everyone I had was successful. In fact, the ones that I thought were too good or were so good were the ones I never got a call back, were the ones I was ghosted in, were the ones I got a bad letter or what do you call a love letter from the employer about, So even the ones that you thought wasn't really fantastic, you might be surprised. Just like the other lady said, even if you're speaking nonsense, speaking with confidence.
Yeah, great. All right. Palumi, quickly, then we have Olu.
Can I ask my question?
Oh, Eric, quickly, yes, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm from different background in accounting and currently working as a property accountant. I know it is wanting to get a job and wanting to keep the job for the first 3 months. For those that have gotten it and keep it for the first 3 months, what would be their best advice?
I don't know if we have anyone here but to be honest with you, in our group, we have not had people that have lost their job that I'm aware of. We have an amazing platform. People will hold your hand. I get, sometimes, like I say, sometimes I shed tears when I see the way, people are helping each other. We are forming, for example, now in Canada, I think, Larry, I'm not sure you are in that group. We have a group now. In that group, there are 21. We have 6 or 7 Scrum Masters in there. And these guys, I've spoken to them. They said they are ready to hold these guys' hand that are still looking for jobs. And the same way, our larger community, right, where people that just got job put question, people would literally hold their hand because I can't do everything, right? People will literally hold their hand to help them. Sometimes when they put question and I'll reach out to them later, I said, no, I've got an answer. This person I've shared my screen. He told me how to do it. It quickly helped me out. So don't worry about that. We will keep the job, trust me. I can tell you times without number, we have a lot of folks in Canada that they've been working for the past 6, 7 months, 1 year, right? And we have people here in the US that have moved from being a Scrum Master to Agile coaches. Some have become directors, some have become release train engineers like a chief Scrum Master. So they are moving. So if you are not lazy, if you are not lazy. Okay, so All right.
Mr. Femi, can I add to what you just said?
You can add to that, Mary.
Quickly. It's been a month now, a month plus that I've been on my job. I would like to say that what Mr. Femi always says in class is true. The toughest part of the job is getting the job.
Yeah.
On the job is very practical. It's easy. It's just about, even when you don't know it on the job, people would want to tell you, your coach might, you can have a team member say, why don't we do it this way? And what is agile? Agile is getting opinions from other people. And it's really easy. The only issue I can say that I had earlier on was Jira.
Yeah.
And like Mr. Femi said, I reached out to the community, I reached out to Mr. Femi, and people will say, okay, do this, do that. And now I don't even have issues. My husband, who is not a Scrum Master, looked at me and said, the only thing that stresses me about the job is Jira. And once I can know my way about the job itself, it's easy. Now you said go leave the job, say, no, I got a better offer, I'm leaving, I got a better offer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
So just wanted to add to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Pelumi, quickly, then we'll go back to Ndidi for questions. Pelumi, you want to?
Okay.
In 1 minute.
Okay, so hello everyone.
You're one of the extra lucky ones too. Okay.
I will add another extra to that.
Oh, wow.
Hello everyone. My name is Pelumi. I joined Mr. Femi's class in November, and I took the class, and right after I took my exam and everything was good, I started applying right away. The class is amazing. I think I missed that part, and I feel like everyone has already reaffirmed that. So what everyone has said so far is super true. So within 1 week, I was like, no call back, nothing. But within 1 week, my resume was spot on, was popping. I had my about myself planned out with Mr. Femi and other people that helped me out on the platform, and I was good to go. My first interview went smoothly. Honestly, I think you just really have to be very personable and know what you're talking about. And what she said was being confident. I think I won my boss over by just being very personable. I think his dog came in the background. I was like, oh my God, is that your dog? Wow. And we had like a full-blown conversation about that. So honestly, it's just being very personable. Like, I feel like they're all stuck talking to developers all day long. They kind of have that, they need that outlet. You as a person need to give them that outlet to be like, okay, you can talk to me in a regular way, and get things done. So after I took that interview, I got a call back within 5 hours, and they were like, you know what, you're the best candidate. You have a job. And I was like, wait, this was my test trial. I didn't plan on getting a job today, but hey, I took it. I quit my other job that I was doing. I was into healthcare, and now I'm a full-blown Scrum Master. 2 days ago, I just got my second position too.
You just got another job.
I just got another job, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm ready for this. But this one, I'm writing more. I'm writing the user stories, and it's a bit more experience. And you know what? It's stressful, but I'm so here for it. This platform has helped me out so much. If I ask a question, someone gets on Zoom with me real quick. It's just amazing, and it's just beautiful, and beautiful to know that you have people around you to help you out. So honestly, my story is different. My story is amazing, but I'm just so grateful to everyone, and also Mr. Femi. You got this, guys. You got this.
Thanks, Pelumi. Congrats on your new job. Ndidi, quickly.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Mr. Femi. So I was just going to say something. I sent it to Tamika mistakenly. I remember when I was looking on the websites. I've been doing this for 2 years, going on looking for Scrum Master job, everything for 2 years, like just trying to convince myself. And then I saw somewhere that it said 70K for a new entry. Like, they were literally begging. I'm like, for a new entry? Then that means for somebody that, has a beefed up CV and everything, how much is it? Then I began to look. Then I talked to a friend whom you trained. Last week, I was telling him I got admission into nursing school. I'm an accountant. He knows and everything. And he said to me, what do you want? I said, my time, I want to work remotely and everything. He was like, are you sure you're doing this? I said, I am testing on CNA. And I am finding out that it's too difficult for me, and I can't take it psychologically because I come back emotionally burned. So when he told me how much he's earning, I said to myself, what? How come? I said, I'm going to fight you, like for a long time, you didn't tell me this. He said, no, he can't force me to do what I don't want to do. So trust me, it's not whether I'm going to do the course, I am going to do the course. as soon as I can get myself in order between this month and next month. So I'm not there yet to share my testimony, but I know I'm going to be sharing it very soon.
Well, by God's grace, you share it.
Amen.
All right. Asata, you have questions quickly. Then we'll go to Olu. Olu from Canada too. Olu. Okay, Asata, quickly.
Yeah, I wanted to find out, like with these jobs, are any of them kind of temporary based because they're project based? Do you find that when you're looking for opportunities that they are temporary, or are they long-term positions?
There are lots of full-time positions, lots of full-time. At the same time, we have lots of contracts as well. So, and most contracts, after 6 months, they will still renew. The shortest contract you can find is 6 months. And they try you out for 6 months. If they like you, they renew it for another 6 months. And if they like you again, they might sometimes keep you full time. And yeah, that's just it. You would, even if your contract finishes after 6 months, you get another one like this. Coming in with 6 month experience, you get another one right away. So there's a lot of full time. There's a lot of full time, right?
And are the hours like typical 9 to 5
9 to
hours?
5, yep, 9 to 5. If you're whatever time you zone, you are on 9 to 5, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a regular 9 to 5, yes. All right, Olu, quickly. I know we'll come to Wale in a second. So yeah, Olu.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Canadian guy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Femi, for having me here. And good morning, everybody. I was once like you guys, and I'll start by saying I am a product of grace. I was introduced to this platform by a friend, Alex and ID.
Yeah.
But just to let you know, I was being assured that I would land my job in 90 days. That's 3 months. But I came hungry and I gave myself a 75 days target. And to the glory of God, I was able to secure a job before the 75 days. However, I'm a father. I'm a married man with 2 beautiful toddlers. And my kids want me to put them to bed. And I will put them to bed. And when I notice that they are asleep, I will sneak out of their room. I will go back to my desk. So on a daily basis, I do 2 or 3 hours on my desk studying. 2 or 3 hours daily. And that is after my regular day's job. So I started this class January 22nd, and I passed my exams within 1 month, and I got my job within 44 days. And that was my first interview from a financial institution. And myself and my friends and people around me were like, this shouldn't have been your first interview. But the way God has it, my first interview gave me my job. And my friend, I'll refer to some of the things.
Okay, sorry. Do you know Larry? Larry. Do you know Larry? I think you are in the same place now.
You might not know me, but we know we have a mutual connection, which is
okay,
Alex.
You are in the same place now. I just said let me throw that out. So if you want to connect after.
Sure. Larry, I'll reach out to you.
All right.
So,
go on, Olu.
Yeah, so my friend Alex did say something. Alex will say, you just have to use enough materials online. He'll say Google will tell you what you want to know. Then YouTube will show you how it is or how it's been done. So Alex was very helpful, and he was the one that groomed me before my interview. He was at my place 24 hours before my interview. He literally walked at my place, and we had the whole day to ourselves, asking me several questions, putting me through several things. So if you feel you're here, you're going to be alone. You're not going to be alone. You will have a lot of people that will reach out to you when you're having challenges, or probably you need an answer to some questions or to some things. And like I said, Grace found me, and the job I got is a 6-digit job as well. So, Mr. Femi, thank you so much for having me. And if you all have any questions, I'll be here to answer your questions.
All right, let's quickly go to Asata. You have questions, or your question have been answered? Before we go to the next person, I don't know if Opemi is still on.
No, you answered my question.
Okay, Opemi, are you on? Yeah, go on, Opemi. Opemi, I struggle sometimes to pronounce your name. Sorry, and I've known you now for a while.
It's fine. It's all Pemmy.
Okay.
Delta girl over here. So my story is very similar yet very different from a lot of people. So I've heard about Scrum for the longest time, but so many people have been trying to get me to do Scrum. But I had a neighbor turned family who did Mr. Femi's class, and he was probably the fastest person to get a job within
Yeah.
like 3 weeks or something. He
He
got a
was
job.
very hungry, Henry.
Yeah, and then from Henry, I was like, you know what, everybody else go away. Like I'm using who Henry used. And then to be honest, I took the class in November, but I'm in a master's program. Double concentration is a lot demanding. I learnt a lot from Mr. Femi's class. And then I was like, to be honest, I was kind of almost like in a rush. Like I wasn't really taking all the resources and I was in a rush and I was like, let me do an interview. I did a senior Scrum Master role. I thought I knew everything. And then right then that was the worst interview I've ever had in my life because I was just in a rush. This is just me being very honest. And I was like, you know what, let me chill. Let me go back to the books, this and that. At the same time, I was getting work done, my master's, everything. And so like about, I think a month or less ago, a couple of recruiters have been reaching out to me and I was like, you know what, I think it's time. I had, I think 2 back-to-back interviews. I will call Mr. Femi in the middle and I'll be like, okay, Mr. Femi, can you help me with this? I have a situation because the company had like a completely different Scrum environment from like the usual. And then I was like, you know what? I told myself in my mind that I'm just using this interview to practice. Lo and behold, 2 days later, I got that job. So what my thing is, honestly, Mr. Femi has so many resources, so many groups of people, like so much that even sometimes when I wasn't talking, just looking at the group chat and seeing like responses, etc., I was learning so much that way. And right now, even after that job that I've gotten the offer for, I did another interview because I already got a job. My confidence was skyrocketed or whatever, and I just got another job offer.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take it because I'm not ready for that yet, but yeah, it's the grace of God and Mr. Femi and the community of people. So many people in the community probably don't know me, but like little conversations, questions they asked in the group, so many things I've learned from that community, the interview prep class, everything like has truly impacted my journey and everything I've learned. And for that, I'm so grateful for everyone, Mr. Femi. And yeah, I just like to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
All righty, Taneka, you have a question. Then the iPhone.
Yes, for her.
Yeah,
Yes.
quickly. Yes.
I wanted to ask her, what is it about the job that makes her not ready for it? What is the details of the job that tells you that you're not ready?
Oh, so like the first interview that I had, it was a senior Scrum Master role, and they wanted somebody who had like not just only experience in the Scrum role, but like how they manage other Scrum Masters, etc. And I was just like, oh wow, yeah, I never really thought about that. So that was what made me not ready, and I just wanted to like be sure. I'm also like almost a perfectionist. Before I go in and do an interview, I want to have studied as much, and you know.
I think you're a perfectionist. A lot of times that you call me and I stop and I say in my mind that this girl is ready. Go and do whatever you need to do, but you'll still be doubting yourself that what about this? What about that? I know you know your stuff. I didn't even know you take that long to get a job. Anyway, user iPhone, thanks for me. A user iPhone quickly. You have a question? Before we go to, I guess, I don't know if Awa is here. Who else is here? Or Sas? I don't know if you're here. Okay, all right. Wale, you have questions, yeah. Wale, you want to unmute yourself and go? Oh, Awa is here. Yeah, Awa, I'm coming to you in a minute. Wale, I see your hands up. You want to unmute yourself and ask your question? Oh, okay. All right, let's go to Awa. Awa quickly. Awa is also one of the students that would like to share. I would like to her to share her story because she called me also a couple times, struggling with how her background on how she would blend her background with Scrum. Awa, you want to go quickly?
Okay, hi everybody and welcome to Tutor Connect. Welcome to Mr. Femi's class. And this class is, I think the best thing I like about Mr. Femi's class is the community. It's the, I've had friends who be like, can you just share the materials with me? And I'm like, go pay for this class because the community is actually what you need. Is the fact that you finish from your class, you move into the prep class, you get a job, you move into the community class. Like it's a whole lot to learn. So for me, I'm a vet, and I, like Mr. Femi said, I struggled to be like, where can I fit in? I didn't want to throw out all my experience. I didn't want to throw out having my DVM from my CV. I didn't want to throw out my master's from my CV, and all those did not relate to being a Scrum Master, right? So but Mr. Femi was able to channel my CV in a way that it correlates, and I was able to actually do more. So my advice for everyone that I keep saying is you need to do your work and you need to know your stuff. Like you cannot just attend the class and that's it. So what I was doing was I started the class in January, and from the first day I started my class, I usually drive an hour to work and an hour back. I never listened to music. I never listened to any other thing apart from Scrum. I know every single Scrum videos. I know the recordings. I know people's voices. Like I gave them names. Like I know all those things. So I'll just say you need to put the work. You need to study. I have a baby. Like I have a baby. And when I get back from work at 7 p.m., I put him to bed and I still study, even if I studied at work, because I was lucky to have a work that I could still, chip in some things. My AirPod is always in my ears. I'm always listening to Scrum. And then I took my exam, I think the 3rd week or something, I don't know, the 4th week of the class. And I passed, and I didn't start interviewing immediately. I waited for the class to be over. And even after the class was over, I think I used 1 week to like arrange my CV. I waited for Mr. Femi to get back to me. And then I still, fix some things in my CV more. And so what I did was, I knew I wanted to work for some specific companies like PwC, Essentials, Walmart, Amazon. At that time, I was currently working in Amazon, but I didn't know how to transition without them saying, oh, no, you don't have the experience. So I felt, okay, I'll just leave Amazon totally. And so what I did was I went to those companies. I looked at their Scrum responsibilities and roles, and I tried to tailor my CV to that area. So initially I had like 4 different CVs tailored to those areas. So I applied. And for the first week, I didn't get any callback. I didn't get recruiters reaching out to me or anything. And then I reached out to someone that was in the class who got 2 jobs that Mr. Femi had told about. And I reached out to him and I'm like, Malik, I'm not getting any callback. And he was like, did Mr. Femi arrange your CV? And I said, yes, he did. And he was like, just keep trying. And that was just 1 week, which was, I wasn't supposed to be bothered, but I was eager to leave my job. So the next week I did the same. I channeled my CV even more. I made sure I was like lifting anything that was very important in the job description. I was putting it on my CV. And then recruiters started reaching out to me, and then I got my first interview. And guess what? I landed my first interview. Like after the interview, they called me like 20 minutes later to offer me the job. And then I felt it was okay, right? But then I really wanted to build my confidence level. So I kept on taking interviews. And then the second interview, I got the offer. Wow. But it was hybrid. So I didn't want to take it because I really want to build a career out of it. So I want to know this job for at least 3 months before I add another one. So I didn't take the second one. And guess what? There's a third one coming on the way. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. So, but the thing is, they always like me because I know this thing. I feel like I know it. I feel like I really, really know it. And that's because I listen. There's this guy in the class, Larry.
Nice.
Yeah. When Larry speaks, I'm like, I'm not sure this guy really started Scrum all the way from the beginning, but you'd see that he knows the stuff. And I'm like, this is where I'm going. This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
So I always, I even reached out to him to be my mentor, but he never responded. And I'm like, don't worry. I'll come back to you when I get a job.
Yeah, he's
So,
a
but
great
then
guy. He's also,
yeah, he's a great guy.
he was a student like you too in this class. So.
Yes, he was a student like all of us. And there was this thing he shared in class, like being a Scrum Master, what he tells his teammates. And I used that in one of my interviews. And they said, tell me about yourself. And I did tell them about myself. And they were so interested. And they were like, tell me more. And then I chipped in Larry's what Larry told us. And guess what? They were just like, wow, that's so nice. So generally what I just keep saying is you need to study, you need to know these things. When you get to the interview, you need to your confidence level needs to be like over the roof, and go through the materials Mr. Femi shared. Those materials are not being like, they're very important. Go through those materials, study. That's all I have to say.
All right, thanks a lot. Before we go to Wale, we're right over a little over time. So someone said, what's the possibility of a Scrum Master while working as a customer service representative in a known company? To be honest with you, transitioning to that, you don't need it. Just like Awa said here, she was in the January class, she was working with Amazon, but moving to working for a role and moving to a Scrum Master in the same company, it's going to be tough. So to be honest, there are lots of jobs out there. You don't even need that company, trust me. All right, Wale, quickly, Wale Salami, you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, sorry, I keep on muting myself. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi. First of all, this testimonies are very encouraging. Kudos to everybody that's doing great in life right now with the Scrum Master. I have a two-part question. The first part is, what is a CV? I keep hearing the last lady keep saying a CV.
CV is curriculum vitae, is a resume. It's used in the UK and in Europe and in Nigeria. That's what they call resume. Yeah, it's a resume.
All right.
So people, it's a term used by Nigerians.
Okay, I'm not ashamed to ask silly questions because that's the only way I'm going to get informed about everything. And my second question is, when is the class going to start? Because I'm ready to start working. And due to the fact that I'm in New York City, how does this really affect me securing a job and everything like that? Because it seems like everybody on their site, that they're kind of like out of the state, in Canada, in London.
No. A lot of people here, just 2 people in Canada here. No one in the UK. Yeah, it's everyone is in the US. There's a lot of job in US. I share the start date again. You can take a picture of it if you want. A lot of people are in you. There are too many jobs. I just shared the job website now. We have over 155,000 jobs all over the US.
Okay. All right, Mr. Femi. I guess I'll see you in class April 5th then.
All right. No problems at all. There's a lot of Scrum roles in New York and New Jersey. Thanks, Opemi. All right. If we don't have anyone, I don't think does anyone wants to share their story again? We still have a lot of people, Osase, Babatunde. Osase and Babatunde, they're actually husband and wife. I don't know. They're not here this morning. They are also members of the class. They both got Scrum job. Also Victoria, I don't know if Victoria want to join. Then Alexandra and who else? Yeah, I don't think they are here. I think the only thing, just to round up, the only thing that I will tell you it's not going to be easy. The only common trend among all the stories that I share is hard work. Put in the hard work. If you put in the hard work, you would get a job. I can guarantee you that. I've seen this happen time over time. And this is the reason why some people do not get anything and why some people get 4 jobs. I have a guy, I will always share a story, a gym cleaner. He has never done, he's a cleaner. He has never done anything, any kind of thing like that. And he got 5 jobs. 5 of us at the same time in less than a week. It was dead serious that I'm going to leave this cleaning job. He was tired of what he was doing. He was tired. I would leave this job. He was reading back to back. He said all through his 8 hours, he has his head that is cleaning. He cleans for 8 hours. He has his headphones on. He's listening to Scrum every day. So hard work is the key. Hard work that's the key. Don't think you want to come to the class and just stroll in and stroll out. You're not going to get any job. You just waste your 1,005. If you know you're in that category, I would say don't join the class. It's not about your money. For me, it's about you getting value. Don't join the class. If you know I don't have the time, I can't put in the work, you just waste your 1,500. But if you want to get your 1,500 from day one, start studying. And if you want to repeat back quick, right? All right. Any other final question before we wrap up? Apologies, we're over time, 8 minutes over. Any other final question before we wrap up?
If we don't start the April session, when is the next session?
May. The next session should be first week in May. Okay. Right. Yeah, we kind of do it every month. All right. Thanks, everyone.
I actually have a question.
Oh yeah, go on, Namdi.
So earlier I noticed that there were you were mentioning that there's groups. How do I get into the groups? Because
when you join the class.
Oh, okay,
when
so
you join the class, yeah, when you join the class, you get into a lot of groups. We have a lot of groups. Some are even meeting now, so it meets almost every time. All right. Today
I'll see you in the class then.
All right.
All right. So my question is, can we get the kind of material ahead of the class so we can
I will send you
ahead?
I will send you some materials today after this class.
Oh, copy.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I'll
much.
send you enough materials that you need. If I send you everything, you just run away. I'll send enough that you need to get going because there's a lot of material. I'll feed you with materials. Trust me.
All right. And also, you said most of the classes will be repeated.
Yeah?
Like, you said most of the classes will be repeated, like the one the midweek and the weekends.
Yeah, but I would want you, if once you choose the weekend, you would only stay in the weekend. It is only if you do not have time to attend the weekend, that's when you join the weekdays. Or probably you struggle with something, it would be a personal arrangement. Or probably you struggle with something, then you might reach out to me and say, hey, can I join this one? The reason why we want to separate the classes is because of the numbers. Yeah, so we want people to get value for their money. So we want to reduce the numbers. That's why we want to separate the class. But it could be, yes, you can stay allowed to do hybrid, but it would be an arrangement, yes.
So the class will always be you said 3 hours, right?
3 hours on a Saturday, 3 hours on a Sunday, 3 hours each day, twice a week, and for 4 weekends. 4 weeks, yes.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. Any other final question?
Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Femi.
Hi, Mr. Femi. Can I talk to you after this class, please?
Sure.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, let's stay behind.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, bye. You can call me personally, Eric.
No, it's not Eric, it's Bidi.
Oh, it's Bidi. Okay, Bidi,
Yeah.
call me.
Okay, I should call your phone.
Yeah, just call my phone. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.